Right.
Tell them folks who CARB is again, please.
CARB is California Air Resource Board. And what we're doing there is we're affecting those areas. This is where we have some of the senators. In fact, the top senators in California, we came in one meeting, and since Louisiana, you know, sort of kind of declined the first time around on having the company in, they took it right away. And
we're going to talk about that in a minute, but before we get to that, because I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But before we get to that, we have some results from the application of your product in Alexandria. And I pulled this report up, and I find it quite interesting. Would you elaborate on the results from the use of the product in Alexandria and that bus line?
Sure.
I know we talked about it a little bit in our previous show, but I want you to elaborate this time on it, please.
Okay. Well, first of all, as you see, we have a slew of them, and that's not half of them.
That's not half of them?
Yeah. And we did cover to where we were using one of the, we're not going to call the name, but we're just,
not call that other company's name.
Yeah, but this is the leading product in grease lubrications as well as fuel additives. The city of Alexandria actually cut their usage of what they had in half, which as well as the downtime. But what we did is they were using 6 to 8 cases of that particular product of lubrication. After using it, they went down to 1, 2 a month instead of 6 to 7 to 8 cases. Yeah. The other ones we have is the bearings, of course.
We talked about that a little bit in the previous
We've done that, and increasing fuel economy. But what we found in their hydraulic systems, too, is that we were able to drop that as well as the temperature of the engine down average of 20 degrees. So therefore, the buses was running cooler. In fact, the drivers had to go to the back to make sure the bus was still running. And these are buses. Now, mind you, Alexandria fleet, we only begin testing at 199,000 miles average on the buses. We went back in at 300,000 miles, and this is where he actually didn't believe it himself, the superintendent of Alexandria, and he saw that the fleet was pretty clean. We took the buses apart at 300,000 miles, and this is where he saw it for himself, that the buses were so clean in the internal part of the engine that he was able to read the serial numbers in the metal with no carbon at all. So in actuality, we can say that Alexandria have the cleanest buses, one of the fleets that have the cleanest buses in the world. In fact, if you ever get down that way, you'll notice not one bus smoke.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I did see, now I pulled up several videos of articles, news articles around the country, and the reason why I showed the two that we're showing here is because I thought they were most complete. But I did see another one where the guy didn't realize that the bus was running because there was no smoke coming out, billowing out of the smokestack. Right. And I thought that was awesome. How did they achieve that? That's just the technology?
That's the technology. In fact, it's immediate.
It's immediate?
It works immediately. The application, you run it for about an hour, and it goes to work. You can see this in the first tank full with most vehicles. Of course, it depends on the amount of the carbon deposits that we have in there. Now, we also took the fleet, and mind you, the fleet is over 400,000 miles now, and they have no need to have to replace the buses, which normally 400,000, you're looking at an increase of maintenance cost. So they are nowhere close to that now. We were also able to take their bulk storage tanks, which we utilized, and we found that when we first implemented the technology in there for the streets department, as well as the sanitation department, police departments, they noticed a difference in the way the vehicles were running for regular gasoline, that is. The one that was monitoring the fuel noticed that instead of replenishing the bulk storage underground tanks, at 3 to 4 days. They were now doing it at 6 to 7 days. So therefore, it spread out the savings right away. This was immediate, the first week. Okay, and afterwards, that was the testing process. In the streets department, we ran another test where we went back 7 years with their records. And so when we saw that in the month of August to the month of September, we were able to see if we can affect that amount. Now, that's just one of their fleets, departments rather, in their fleet. And we only did about 85% of that fleet. And in 30 days, we showed a savings in fuel of over $43,000. Yeah, as I said before, they don't have a large fleet.
Okay. The city of New Orleans is talking about budget cuts and so forth and so on right now. I would imagine that we have a large fleet of police, sheriff cars, bus lines, school buses. What would be the impact on a city like New Orleans if they employed this technology?
We're looking at employing more police department, policemen, more firemen, increasing more jobs, economic growth, less money on replacing vehicles, and putting more into other technologies that would be even more valuable to the city of New Orleans. We'll change the economic status of it to where and we're not talking about just the vehicles, we're speaking totally on the technology to be implemented here. With generators as well as the
any machinery that uses oil or fuel.
Yeah, that's correct. So therefore, a lot of the cities, I understand you have one of the largest distributor of alcohol beverages in the area here. That would be another one that would be impact immediately in millions of dollars annually. So,
and now let's break that down to me.
Okay.
The average citizen, the average person who uses this technology could immediately see about 10 to 12% increase in gas mileage.
Yes.
Fuel savings costs.
That is correct.
And maintenance and downtime on their vehicle could be practically reduced to unless you get in a car accident.
That's correct. That's right. Hopefully not. Yeah.
I do know that you're talking with California about building a plant right now.
Actually, we were able to talk to a few of the top senators in the country. The first meeting, they said where they want it, and we need it here now. So this is in the works.
What's the implications on the economy there?
Well, that's going to change quite a bit. California have a ruling, a bill there. It's called AB 32. That actually affects all of California. By using AB 32, they brought in the technology of the DPF filter. They're fighting AB 32 to be implemented simply because if it will be, it will negatively impact the community. In fact, I went to one of the CARB meetings, and we found that these guys here, in fact, we actually did not the TV, but we did the interview on video, to where we came in with the technology to let them know that not one business would have to close. These guys with businesses over 30, 40 years stated that they have to close their business because they cannot afford to replace their vehicles every 3 to 4 years. Some of them at 2 years. So that's how stringent the EPA standards have become. What we do here is everyone maintain their vehicles. That includes all heavy off-road vehicles. They would have the same emission standards as on-road. Now, we've been turned down quite a bit because everyone looks at it as an additive. But what we have done here in the testing process, and the recent one as well, is in California with the truckers. We did a state-certified test, did a baseline before they started using it, and we did one after. We eliminated it. We eliminated the emissions over 50%. The DPF filters only do 25, supposedly, and they didn't.
We're a long way from building our economy here in the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. Is there any chance that in the near future that we may at least have a distribution center here?
Sure. Actually, we're looking to do so. We tried first to do that here in the state of Louisiana. This was the reason why is because this is home for me, you know, Louisiana. This was my gift, you know, that I received to give back to my community.
I was trying to give that same gift to us, too.
Yeah, and to mention that as well, had you become a mayor in 2002, as we discussed then, we would have had this technology in and as well boost the economy. This would have been a major impact because we're looking at global distribution on this.
And what kind of impact, in just ballpark figure numbers, with a distribution center here in New Orleans, or manufacturing plant, what kind of impact would that have on our economy, Larry? Well, just ballpark figures.
Oh, well, you know, that's hard to fathom. But let's say what we have had here. Louisiana is an area in which the oil industry is a big part of it. Now, with the industry gone, you know, virtually shut down, and also we have to have some pull from some resources. CNG is the next one up. Okay.
Which is not all that great.
Exactly. We're having problems with CNG. We know it's a temporary. It's you know, actually I can project that we're looking at CNG being like MTBE.
It looks good on paper, but it's not really good for our noses and stuff.
Well, I don't think methane is one of the things that we're used to breathing in. Also, when you're looking at now nanotechnology in NOx levels, no, it's not going to be conducive to our health. But with MAXI-MIZER, we actually had, with the chromatography testing, we have the test results for that, and we can show that they're virtually zero on the chromatography. No one has ever passed that. No combustible fuel has ever passed that test in history.
The average person wants your product. How do they get it?
Oh, they can go to the website, and thanks to you bringing me here as well. They can go to the website www.mxmtechnology.com.
And it's easy to get. Anybody can use it. It's easy to apply. The directions come with the additives, and it's better than anything that they're using right now. And not only is it going to give them better quality gas mileage, better quality on their engine life, it's going to save them a bunch of money and be less abusive on our emissions.
That's correct.
Absolutely. Larry, I appreciate you coming in, flying all the way from California to be with us. We know how valuable your time is. You've been to Mexico, you've been to China lately, and you made a stop here in New Orleans because I've been begging you to come here for a long time.
Sure.
And we really appreciate you coming, Larry. That is it for us here at Where Family Matters. We appreciate you on New Orleans coming and sitting with us and joining us. Don't forget, this is a two-part show. See the first part, see this part, and do your part in reducing emissions by making sure your car is maximized.